to M&A&D&D episode 16. We followed our adventurers back from Cragmaw Castle after just running in there like bulls in a china shop. They managed to kill just about everything, loot just about nothing, and made it out of there with Gundren Rockseeker, who holds the key to where Wave Echo Cave is. They made it. They made their way through the wilderness back to Fadalin to look for Wurs, who had stormed off after getting into it with Dari King. Darfarius, gladly back in town, heads straight to the sleeping giant. Gundren
has the map.
Gundren looks to the remaining group and tells them that he needs to speak with his old friend Sildar. You guys are more familiar with this town than I. Where might I find Sildar these days?
Last we saw him, he's kind of taken over as town master. So if you go to the town master hall,
town master.
Yeah, the last one was kind of not going to cut it. But I think we've left Phandalin better than we found it. And now Sildar is currently in charge.
I could tell by just the atmosphere of the town now that you guys certainly cleaned up quite a mess.
Can we send Darfarius and Brockle with him?
I seen your dragon friend already head off to the bar, but yeah, Brockle, I'll take Brockle with me. I'm sure he's anxious to get off his feet. So as you guys look, the the two short members of your party head down the winding dirt lane, quickly disappear behind the carts being pulled by donkeys and the people selling their wares in the streets.
Didn't I still have a piece of armor that I ordered I never picked up?
It might not be ready yet.
But I think because we've been away for at least a week, right? I think that might be ready.
If I recall, it was going to take several weeks, so this armor was going to be done by the end of the adventure.
Got it.
Okay, so I
Wait, is there an echo? Are we good?
I don't think so.
I hear an echo, but I only hear it when you speak.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay.
But it's not loud.
So in front of you, you guys find another week out. This town is starting to take shape again. The buildings, you guys had come back last time, and there was construction being built. There was people working on kind of reshaping all the things that had happened with the Red Browns when they had taken charge, and now you see a city rebuilt, a town rebuilt, lively and flourishing for the first time in probably a decade.
I turn into Valen, and I go, I think there's going to be, before we finish up our quest here, we're going to need everyone in our group, our full party. Wurs was upset last time we saw him. Let's see if he got back to town okay. If you can go see if you found, he probably doesn't want to see me first. If you can go, I don't know, check the inn that we normally stay at. Maybe he beat us here.
Okay.
And
I'll,
if you do
I'll
see
I'll
him,
look into Stonehill and Sleeping Giant and see if he's available.
right?
If he shows up there, and if he doesn't, I'll ask around the town people and see if like he ever seen come back alone.
Cool. Grab him and grab Darfarius. I know Darfarius wants to get a drink, but grab him. Just let's gather everyone real quick and we'll meet at the
I'll park
Townmaster's
him at the
Hall.
bar first. It's easier for me just to move along by myself because like God knows what he's gonna get himself into.
I
Like
think
it's
what
just
we need,
weird.
what I need to say, needs to be said to everybody. So let's just get everybody and let's meet with Sildar in the Townmaster's Hall.
Okie dokie. Well, I'll circle back to the Masters Hall, like Town Masters Hall, if I have anything. Okay.
Gotcha. Thanks. And I start heading to Sildar's.
So
You're
then,
headed to the Town Masters?
Yeah.
Okay. Um the way you guys approach from the north, you guys you two make your split about here. Town
mhm,
Masters Hall is straight ahead, and you pass by the Stonehill Inn first.
okay.
You guys kind of find yourself, you walk up and you're greeted by a very familiar face. Hello, you're back so soon. Do you need a room? Will you be staying?
Um, Probably later for this afternoon, but I would like to. The reason why I'm back so soon is because one of our groups
Yes, the red one, the big red
yes,
one.
yes. Did you see him?
Him. I don't know. We're speaking of the same one. She's
Oh, Siobhan. You're talking about Siobhan is yes. Is she still around? I mean, the last I heard she head up the task for the security guards for the town, wasn't she?
well, yes, and she's made herself quite a home here, and they've done very well.
Well, I can
But
see
no, she's not
what
here
he's
right
saying.
now.
Okay. No, I'm looking for my
Oh,
not
the big one.
the words Worthington. Did you
Ah, yes, he stormed in
that
here.
use the
Very
magic
quick.
and things like that? So did you happen to come across him recently?
Yeah, he came in. If you actually look, go ahead and head into the bar. You should be find him sitting
Oh,
in a
okay.
corner.
All right.
May I take your jacket or anything?
Yeah, actually, while you're at it, I'll have a mead. If you have
If
a mug of mead, I'd love to have some.
pardon me, sir, but if no, don't want to be rude, but maybe asking the bartender would be more helpful.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
I thought you were about to like ID check him.
I
You
will
step
have you know.
you step through past
Yeah.
the front desk and into the much big open room with the windows all along the northern face. Lots of tables there. You've seen it fuller in some of your previous trips here, but
Hmm.
there are some people and sitting kind of in the light, basking in the light of the window. You see Worthington at a table alone.
Okay. All right, DM. Can I ask a question first?
Ah,
Through I know I know for a fact, I assume for a fact that throughout the conversation between my character and Worthington, there probably would come to a point where I'm gonna ask a question where Worthington will have to make a choice. When that point come up, do I have to roll like persuasions and stuff like that?
no, only unless you're trying to like trick him.
Okay, understood. All right, fair enough.
I think within the realm of you having a conversation with them,
Hmm.
you guys just play it out.
Okay,
But unless you're trying to do something that you think might be against their will,
okay.
or you're
Then I'll
trying to
have to
heavy
roll
hand
for it.
something, then you roll.
Okay.
Like walk outside in the middle of a fight with the dragon.
All right. So I walk into the bar and I kind of, search around, and with all the noises and people just talking to each other and then drinking. First went to the counter and then kind of knock on the table. Bartender,
Yeah. What can I do for you?
hi. I would like a
Hi.
pint of. Hey, hey.
Hey.
I want to have a pint of your meat from this year. So if you can have if you can pass me a pint, I would be glad.
Yeah. All right. And you're staying here, right? I've certainly seen you around. Because I'm
No,
just
I don't
saying, I'll put
know.
it on your tab.
Actually, you know what? I'll pay for now because I don't know what's going to happen tonight because we might be passing out of town right away. So,
All right. I like
I
an
don't want
honest.
to. Yeah, I don't want to leave you hanging with the bill. So, how much is for the meat?
About 2 gold.
That is the
Two
most
gold.
expensive.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right.
Just
All
three
right. So
silver.
hold up. 3 silver. Okay. Hold up. Okay. So 3 silver. Then all right. So here's
As
your
you're fumbling with your money, he turns around and he.
silver. All right. Here's your money. I'll put it on the table.
Right.
All right. Thank you.
Exchange is made.
All right. And then as I sip around and I'm looking at the room and I saw Worthington just sitting at the corner. So kind of contemplating how I can start a conversation given that he's stormed off from our last incident, especially during one of our while we're still in the castle and stuff. I was wondering how I can chat up with him. And while I'm pondering, and I walk slowly closer to the door to the table, and I saw him say, and I call for him, "Hey, Worthington."
I look over after sighing and say, "Hi, Vailington. Want to have a seat?"
Uh, yeah, sure. I mean, the meat is always tastes better if you have a drinking partner. So, so I park it nearby the table, and then sit down and say, so glad to see you safely made it to the town. I mean, we were wondering where you vanished to, because actually me, Darfarius, and all the other guys, we looked around the forest around along the way when we came back to the town, and we couldn't see anything. We couldn't find anything, and nobody that we came across ever came upon you. So we wonder what happened to you. So at least you made it safely here.
Yeah, well, ran into a bunch of goblins, killed them, so, you know, not, of course,
Mm.
there's gonna be anyone left to talk. Um, yeah, I just walked back, uh, and got here a couple hours ago.
I mean, wizard magic, I think there's no. It's like, see, here's the thing. Like people, like the others that were worried, but like I kept telling you that with your magic, and I don't think there's. I mean, there's rarely like troubles that you can't handle that you get yourself in. So you know,
I
um,
thank you for
yeah.
the confidence. I'm okay, but it's good to have a group.
So speaking of the group, I understand the reason you stormed off, and having been traveling with the entire group for the last several weeks, I would at least one thing I would agree is that uh, our so-called self-proclaimed leader of the team, he's not always thinking about the best of the situation when he started something. But I do find it particularly weird and out of the place that he would, I don't know, in the case in so here's the thing. Throughout the entire way I came to the town, we left the castle and we camped a couple nights, and then we were walking toward the town. There was, I mean, there's one thing on my mind is that if what you accuse him of doing is true, and I'm still kind of 50-50 on the stuff here, on the whole issue here. I would be, I'm actually kind of puzzled as to why is that thing so important to him. You had to steal from you instead of askingly openly.
I don't know. That's a fair question.
I think that the whole thing about this entire interaction, if you may, is that yes, I mean whoever done it, whoever took this thing away from you, right? It was your property because because it was definitely in your possession a while ago. And as the team would know, and as the team would remember, it will be definitely in your possession. And anybody would be ticked off if their property got stolen. And I completely understand that. But I think what's even more important, not that your feeling about this situation is not anything, because I mean losing something, like basically getting robbed by your possessions or anything, that's definitely not a good feeling to have. But looking at the grander thing of the situation is, why the bone circlet, why the secrecy,
You know,
what is about the bone
mhm.
circuit that it is that he had, that anybody, like the person that stole it, had to take the action that he did or she did.
That's a good question, and um, definitely something to think about one day.
Mm,
To be honest, I don't really care that much about it. I care more, like you said, having something. I don't really care about the thing. It's the fact that uh, it's the violation being robbed, having something taken of mine. Um,
mm,
it's the lies, and you know, it was taken by somebody that I had trusted, and that's the worst part, and that's why I got so mad. And well,
understandable, man. I'll drink you. I'll drink that. I would definitely. I mean, I agree that if
it's
eh,
there was a point where you refused to heal him because of the things that he'd done. He stabbed that poor goblin that he'd made his friend right in the face. I
mhm.
mean,
Wasn't in the face.
he the goblin was like, friend, 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 and he just plowed that dagger right in his face. I mean, how can you trust someone like that?
Well, but the thing is, like, it's
In the
not. It's
face.
not like. All right, so like, so personally, I have to go. I have to be honest here. Like, I am no one to judge some of the weirdest or the most spontaneous action or decision taken throughout our adventures together, right? I mean, you yourself was bashing me over on the decision I made when we got into it with the local thugs here, right? Like,
Yep.
I was the one that started the whole fight in the sleeping giant because at the moment it was very obvious for me that we had to do something. And I knew talking to you guys would make the whole situation more muddier than it has to be. So I took the cut. I kind of took the whole thing into my own like the whole matter into my own hands, right? But all right, so yes, I mean I definitely understand that he's it like I already told you right out of the back at the beginning, like he's a questionable one on a lot of decision on a lot of things that he did, right? But
Kind of an asshole, right?
mm, he his actions it benefits him the most, but in sequential and in relation to because we're traveling with him, his action also benefits the group in general. Because
I
out of all these fucked ups, out of all the problems, all the fights, all the ambush that we got ourselves into, we have always been able to work with each other and got ourselves out, right? And I hate to think right before the I wouldn't say eve. We it might take us a few more days to decide if we're gonna go to the because we did because well one of the important information is that I keep talking you over that issue, but I forgot to tell you we found the guy that actually have the map to Echo Way to the Echo Cave. So I I I hate to see right before the moment where we're gonna start probably one of the biggest payday, if not one of our adventure. Like we don't have that we will lose you as our mage because with your magic we were able to pull ourselves out of so many hot water, right? So if it's possible in your heart, if it's even possible in your heart to at least to talk to him and understand, or talk to the group to understand whoever did this to you. What was the reason? Why was the bone circlet was so important that an action has to be taken against you? Because throughout the entire thing, we have never subjected to any aggression from our own companions. We've done a lot of stupid shit. We've done a lot of crazy shit, but we
that's
have never been subjected to any hostile or aggressive action from any one of our companion until today we figure out you lost your bone circlet and possibly one of our teammates stole yours.
it's a worthless item. I only wanted it. I only My only goal with it was to learn more about it so that we could find out who killed that old druid. Um, I it and it was stolen from me. I like I said, I don't give a shit about why it was stolen. I only care that it was stolen. How am I supposed to trust the person who stole it? How are you going to trust him when he's done these things? If he stole something from you, would you not feel violated? How would you trust him? How can we trust him to be in the group? How can I trust that he's not going to slit my throat in the night, or that he won't, decide to just, fall asleep and, let,
Well,
wolves
first
come?
of all,
How do you trust him?
one of the indicator is that we have been carrying a shit ton of possessions and rich and wealth on us throughout the entire trip. And so far, none of us have ever lost a single dime. So that was the indicator that if somebody would have wanted us to if somebody would have wanted us our riches, they could have done it on so many occasions. But that's the thing was this whole situation I couldn't figure out is that why that goddamn circlet? It's like you said, it's not even something as from the appearance of it, it's something not so important. I don't even think it's important. Dude, we have magical scrolls that you yourself used a couple times, and he and other people, teammates, used it a couple times, right? And he never lost the possession of that. And that those magic scrolls, they are worth even more than this goddamn circlet. Why is it this one being stolen? Why isn't now? And to kind of iterate the discussion here, the trust was earned because we were able to work ourselves out with each other so many times out of so many problems, and we have always been able to share the riches and this and whatever loot we found almost equally.
Sure,
Right?
so long as multiple people found it. Need I remind you the time where we were, after we almost got eaten by that massive troll, we were looting the camp, and he tried to steer us away from a chest he found.
Mm, and I remember that because you called it out right away.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I I don't know. Like I guess I yeah, maybe you can say I'm a little bit more forgiving than you in it when it comes to incident like that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like I said, we were camping out in the open, under the stars, in the forest, in the dungeons, so many different places. We're taking rests. People were taking shifts to look after each other. Like I said, if anybody within the group that really wanted the riches, that want to steal things solely to possess whatever that we have, they could have done it on so many incidents that and kill us so many times over. We wouldn't have made it to this point and drinking the beers and mead at this table right now. So, like I said,
I'm not sure
what all,
what your point is.
all
Like,
I implore,
are
all
you
I'm
saying I should
imploring right
trust him
now.
because something valuable wasn't taken, or are you
No,
saying
what I'm saying is at least find out why was this thing taken from you. Why was it important? I think the mystery. See, to personally, I think the mystery behind this whole shebang is more important. It, I mean, in general, I mean, to you definitely, it offends you way more than anything else, and which is justified because it was a possession from you that has been taken, right? But I think this, I mean, from my point of view, I think it's something more important for all of us to find out why was this bone circlet so important that somebody have to steal from
Yeah, that's a good point.
you.
If you think
Okay.
about it, you know, someone had stolen just a couple gold from me, I probably never would have noticed it. But you know, this bone circlet thing was so unique. You know, how could I not, you know, look in my bag and go, wait, this used to be here. Why is it gone?
Mm-hmm.
It's such a unique thing. It's such a weird thing to steal. That is a
Got it.
mystery I want to unravel. Um,
Okay.
I don't want to leave you guys. I don't want
You
to.
want to finish the drinks here, and then I
Oh, I
probably
finished my
ask
drink a
for
long time
another.
ago.
Oh,
I
okay. Well,
very
if you can give me a few minutes, I'll finish the drink, and I actually want to get a bowl of soup because I'm pretty hungry after talking. And
sure,
then we can head to the town master's halls, and then hopefully sort the whole thing out. Right?
sure.
Okay. All right.
I'll keep you company.
So as the fire kind of like behind you just keeps continuing to burn away the logs, you guys find yourself sipping the last of your drinks, water, and eat. Um, Across town, we hear just the revelry of the sleeping giant, and we know Darfarius is in good company. Um, the town master's hall. Gundren, Brockle walk in ahead of Darwa King, who had been behind, and Gundren walks up the stairs, opens up the two main doors. Sildar, my old friend. Look at you. From running errands for me to town master. Wow. My month's absence has certainly done you well. Gundren, are you okay? I hadn't expected to see you here, but good to see you, my old friend. And they run up to each other and in an embrace. Certainly, I'm not sure where you heard that I'm the town master. I'm helping out running their well, we like to call it town security. But no, the town master that you're familiar with is still here. Still here doing what he does. The two laugh. Now you're familiar with my friend Rockle, right? Sildar responds, "Yes, yes. We've met before. He's passed through the time. He's passed through the town many times as he likes as his particular order likes to explore the wilderness. And I know he had gone back with the adventurers. We've come. We've been calling them here, uh, the murderers and the acquirers, or M&A, if you will. I imagine that means that they've successfully infiltrated Cragsbaugh and got what they needed. Then the small man with the braided beard looks at him and is like, "Well, I am what they needed. And I do need to ask you, Lord, do I trust these men? Because I trust you more than anything." Sildar looks Gundrim in the eyes. And, oh, some of them are massive assholes, but yes, I do trust them. Now, take a seat. What do we have to talk about? Just as he takes a seat, in walks Darwa King.
I'm gonna do a quick perception check. I want to see, other than Brocco, Gundren, and Sildar, who else is in the room and who else is outside of the room.
So when you walk through the two main doors, you're thrown off a little bit by these two in embrace.
Mm-hmm.
And your attention is just drawn to the people that you're familiar with at a first glance. Sildar, standing next to his big desk that he had set up with the corner library behind him. Broccoli sitting in a chair next to the window facing west. And Gundrim, much shorter than Sildar, kind of like hugging him around the waist.
Oh shit! I should have done something before I walked in. Can I do something real quick before I would have walked in?
Nope. You want to retcon something already?
Well, you said I walked in. I didn't have a chance to do something before I walked through the door. I'm just assuming that the steps are wood steps. Is there? I want to stash the the book that I stole from him, like somewhere like right outside the door, but not on my person.
Yeah, let's get a sleight of hand.
Do I get advantage because I'm outside and I'm doing it without I'm seeing, or no?
You're not gonna get advantage. There's
Okay.
nothing to get advantage on. So
I have luck
as
today.
you step through before all that things just happen, you grab the book.
I have
And
luck
you just,
today.
like-
I'm using my luck. I'm using my first
Okay.
luck for today. All right, here we go.
Damn.
What you do is you, as you're walking in, you remember like, oh shit, I have this book, and in front of the door, as you walk up the steps, there's like a balcony or something, like a where they like to sit out front, and there is a wooden trash can with like a lid, and they slid their trash in between, like in the opening.
Okay.
And just this like just real quick like panic, like, oh, I gotta get rid of it. You frisbee toss it into it, and the book you just hear through, and then it lands inside of the trash can.
Okay. I'm making a note of that real quick. All right, so I'm gonna go back to talking inside. So I don't notice anyone other than the two bros, top gunning it, or no, predatoring it. Which one is it?
They're hugging, man. You can say hugging.
Okay. Well, I was thinking like,
No.
Anyways,
Be the change you want to see in the world.
that's
They're
not what I
hugging.
was. Hey, don't throw me down the bus this way. You're such a jerk. Sorry, I'm just taking a note and I can't type right in a note at the same time. Yeah. So, Hazel, I think we're grabbing the rest of the party here. I'm glad to see you're okay.
And he approaches you, and he gives you a forearm shake.
I return the shake, but awkwardly. And then, we're gonna have to, have a private conversation, including with that will include you, with everybody, and once everyone gets here, I think the topic that me and you discussed last time that we weren't going to bring up,
Really?
would just I'll tell everybody and what they need to know.
No.
And
Continue to think that you're blowing this out of proportion. You know,
what?
this is the wilderness, and dangers are everywhere.
That's
You,
I mean, if they don't believe me on the severity of it, then you could speak up to it. But
right. Well,
mostly,
you know,
mostly what I'll need you to do is I'll be coming clean that I came to you first. But we'll see how this goes. I'm just telling you because I
imagine it'll be a tough conversation for some.
Oh, I'm not. Well, it's not going to be good for me.
Okay. Well, you know, we got some.
I'm like looking down the whole
masters.
time.
Yeah, the town master's is out, and
we just
need
we
to,
also make sure that no one else comes in and overhears us.
Right. Okay. Give me a minute. And he steps out of the main building and into the town master's office. It takes a couple minutes, and then after those minutes pass, 3 guards come out, and they leave the front door. He walks back into the main room there, and you know, it's mostly empty besides his desk and those bookcases. All right, we have the privacy that we need now.
I guess now we wait for the rest of the group to get here.
I am interested in. I know what you have to say is going to be important to you guys, but still looking after this city, this town, and I need to know what it is your next step is. You guys kick up a lot of dust.
I mean, we're probably going to continue the quest that Gundren set out for us originally, and
Mm-hmm.
which you gave us.
Gundren asked you guys to just transport some goods from.
Wasn't it also to find Wave Echo Cave? DM?
No, originally. Now you guys are on to something else.
So, okay.
I'm just saying originally you guys were just here to do this. Now you guys are on a different quest. But that's
Okay,
your own.
I'm mixing up plot lines then. Okay.
Yeah.
So
originally you guys were just hired to take
because we were supposed to
the
find
goods.
him, I thought, because he was the, or did he just go missing? Is the plot line?
From Neverwinter to here, he got snatched.
Okay.
Same with Gundren. Your guys' original thing was just to transport the goods. What I guess what he's asking you is, what do you guys intend to do now?
Okay.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. So let me rephrase the answer then. In that case, our journey's been interesting, and it probably hasn't gone the way any of us expected. Thankfully, we found Gundren, and I think at this point, we're going to.
Thanks for the both of us. Mm-hmm.
Yep. I think at this point, we're going to see this last mystery to its end, which is we're going to go and find Wave Echo Cave. And
Sildar takes a deep breath and he sits back at his desk.
Helpful for everybody, like everything else has.
Fabled Wave Echo Cave. All right. Promise me, when you guys are done, you either clear it out or you destroy it completely. Because if the stories are true, it will bring nothing but pain and destruction for everybody who stands in the way of it.
DM, what do we know in terms of legends and everything? Do we know any of the legends other than a name of Wave Echo Cave? Or
yeah, you guys have kind of been told about it the whole.
I'm blanking on it then because I know. Could you remind me what our characters should know, and then I can see if I can ask for any more.
So like what you guys do know about the stories of Wave Echo is that it was a mine that was being used for magical purposes. Like it provided material that were very valuable for people to wield and possess, and that during the horde of like the orcs and the goblins and stuff, like many years ago, it went missing, and then since then Wave Echo Cave has been searched for because it possesses magical items and I would say more material, not items, magical material that's valuable
right?
to people like sorcerers or whatever.
Okay, so now with that common knowledge reinstated, what do so I turned to Zildar. I don't expect this to be easy because nothing so far has been easy, but what rumors or legends, since it's been lost, do you have for us? Because I mean, as far as we know, while it has gone missing, all it does is if we were able to find it, it should just be a treasure trove. I don't assume it'll be that easy, but do you know?
If you're looking for a tomb of an ancient pharaoh who's left his gold, no, you're mistaken. From what we've gathered from the red brands that you've all defeated, is that they were being led and deceived and manipulated by someone much darker, someone much more powerful. This spider,
The Black Spider.
you've heard of him, yes.
Yeah.
Black Spider is his intention is to find Wayback-O. And what he intends to do with what he finds there is beyond anything any red brand has been able to tell us. But what the red brand have been doing to this town, and I'm sure you're familiar with and understand that someone who manipulates and wields that kind of power and that kind of small army, if he gains the power that he's looking for, we certainly don't stand a chance.
Understood.
There's a lot of innocent, good people here.
But on the flip side of it, if we do accomplish to find Wayback-O and clear it out, the resources that are there, if they're made available to the town, can only help it grow.
You know, that's for another day. I'm like I said, I just am trying to defend these people. I've fought many battles. This may be my last one. But these people deserve some peace. So if you guys go after it, just make sure you either accomplish it or destroy it.
This is your last battle. Maybe you could just take up the Townmaster gig because, you know, not like the Townmaster does any battling as far as we've seen.
All right. I hear you.
All right.
And then he sits back at his desk and then he pulls out some papers as he waits for this meeting to happen. Who's across town to you? I can't hear you.
Just finishing up was the food, and then heading toward the town master's hall, trying to look for Dollar King.
Sorry, forgot I was.
Okay, you're muted. Okay.
Yeah, I was just saying. I'm just chilling, waiting for a villain to finish, and then I was gonna follow him.
Yeah. So we're finishing. So I just like kind of finish up. It was a quick meal, and then walking toward the town master's halls with Worthington and see if we can catch Dollar King over there. I don't think Darferi is finishing drinking or partying or whatever that he's doing in the Sleeping Giant there yet. So I think we'll just have to pick him up afterward because whatever we do,
It's
he's
fine.
gonna be he's just gonna be following us and eating people along the way. So
You're not picking up Darth?
I'm not picking
Aquarius?
I'm not picking up Darfarius yet, right? Because I don't know if he's finishing drinking or partying.
No, go ahead and pick him up.
Oh, okay. All right.
My understanding is you guys want the whole group, right?
All right.
I mean, that was what I said, but I also don't disagree with Terry's assessment of the situation. And if Darth,
Okay.
Yeah,
if
so
Darth
I
is
don't-
not
you
here
guys want-
to actually role play it, I'm just trying. Like, I mean, it doesn't make this situation any different.
As you guys walk up the steps of the Sleeping Giant, like the ruckus gets louder and louder,
Oh my god.
and you guys peek through the front door,
Like he's half naked or something.
and what
You
you
see
do
both
see
Dragon Tails hanging out.
is a large group
Oh,
around him,
no.
and he's just he's taking on any challenger. He's got his hand up, and he's arm wrestling. He's arm
Oh
wrestling
boy.
any challenger that there's because he's taking mead and drink as his prize.
Oh man.
As you see like the revelry, you kind of like it dawns on you like, yeah, why and what's gonna he doesn't need to know anything. He's good.
Yeah.
So the two of you kind of just look at each other and all right.
Head to the townmaster's hall.
You guys enter the townmaster's hall, and inside you find Brockle, Gundren, Sildar, Darwy King.
So, hey, what's up, guys? So look who I found at the Stonehill Inn.
Uncomfortably, Sildar really doesn't want to look up from his desk and just kind of keeps his head down. He greets you with a Brockle. Where's like you're back. Well, it's another pain in my ass.
You do my
But
brother.
let's
stuff.
get this over with.
So what are we trying to get over with in the first place?
Yeah.
Weren't we
Sorry.
headed to Wayvehicle Cave?
Before we go, in words, I'm glad you're back with the group. I think you're. I think we need to have a group chat with everyone in the party.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Except for the dumb ones, right? We left that idiot somewhere else.
Don't like he's not gonna even care. He's so far into his meat and beers and brews.
So it doesn't sound like Defarius is gonna remember this conversation.
Yeah, like we'll just
I'm jealous already.
no, we'll just carry him along the way and then feed him more humans like when he's hungry. So okay.
So, Sildar, you did not see this, but in the during the time of saving Gundren, we had a party dispute, and Wurs accused me of stealing an item. This item, he just doesn't know what happened to it, and was stolen from him. And is the doors closed, DM?
Yeah, everything's
Okay.
everything's cool.
All right. So I look around the room. Really uncomfortable. The item that went missing was an assassination bone circlet from the Order of Assassins, which was used as a marker for the assassination of the druid we met in
Of
Thunder
my
Tree.
friend?
Yes.
Why would assassins be after Rideout?
It's
Rideout?
less about why and more about who. I promise I'll answer the questions. Just let me get through this. This is actually not
Wait,
the first assassin.
okay.
This is actually not the first assassin that our group has come across. It's the first one that got away, and we were unable to prevent. The group just doesn't know this.
Are you telling me the druid when we found him? No.
No, he was the victim.
So he wasn't okay. So he was
He
assassinated.
was assassinated. He was the mark. He had a hit out on him.
But why would he
Let me-
I
assassinated?
The why is not really important, and you would have
It is to me. He was my friend.
let me get through the who, and then you can understand a little bit more of the why or the concern, and let me get through the process. You need to understand this is very, what I'm telling you, it needs to be taken with the utmost seriousness. This is the Order of Assassins. Their reach is very, very far. I thought they didn't have reach here. And if they did, it was very much in passing. The assassination we did prevent was actually Sildar's. And
This is news to Sildar, so he sits
no,
very...
it wasn't, because I showed him the bone circlet with his name on it. So he would have remembered that he was the one on the mark on it.
Gotcha. So he still just is like hunched over doing paperwork.
So the assassin that we actually was the necromancer that we fought about a month back. I had hoped.
I remember the target. Yeah.
Right. I had hoped the that was just a single person and a single target, and at that point, we'd stopped it, and that would be the end of it. But we were wrong. I was wrong. And without knowing that if there were any more targets out there, Rydoff was killed. And we never found the assassin. So, but we did find the mark, the circlet, left behind. Worth wanted to investigate this. The problem with that was twofold. One, he was going to go to Sildar, who was a target, which would have made it a problem for Sildar, who would then start investigating and possibly pointed out that he's still alive. So that was problem number one. Number two, it would have made a problem for the group, because we would have been investigating a group that we didn't know about, or you guys didn't know about, that is very, very dangerous. I don't want you guys to do that, because they are more than we can handle. Also, I was in that group. I was an assassin for the Order. I am not an assassin for the Order anymore. I am supposed to be dead, and I don't want them to find out that I am not dead. So, similar to Sildar, we should not be flaunting that, and I was afraid. I want Sildar. I told Sildar the same thing. Sildar, being far more brave than I, decided not to run, decided not to hide. So, and thankfully nothing's happened yet. We will see what happens in the future. I've done some things. Again, I've already spoken prior to Sildar about this last time we were actually in town. Because, worse, I'm sorry, I did steal your circlet. the circlet. It wasn't yours. But I've done a lot to try to survive, and the only thing that's kept me alive has been lying, killing, and moving on. So, not doing one of those things goes against my tenure. You put me into a corner, and I'm going to do my natural action of fighting back, which in this case was to turn the group against you. Also, you didn't have any proof on me. I kind of covered my tracks. We do not want to pick a fight with the Order of Assassins. I do not want to pick a fight with the Order of Assassins. The only reason I am telling everybody this is because while I was hoping that an item going missing would then just be, that had no value, would just be forgotten and moved on, I was hoping that without everything, we would not be able to pursue this topic. I was hoping that everything else would be fine. I was wrong. Because I wanted to get to Wave Echo and maybe leave the group. Who knows? But I need the rest of you. I need all of you. So, I'm trusting you all with this information.
First of
Sildar,
all,
Sildar stands up from his desk and looks at you. You get this sudden like wave. You see how he's able to have led this town back to the way it is as he stands there. The Order is no joke. The fact that you've come this close to him at all means that you guys are very lucky. Now, everybody has a past, and I've fought in many wars, and certainly I'm running from my own demons. But know this, we all travel with the company we keep. That means you need to understand that people have their failings and their shortcomings, but if you can trust them to watch your back in battle, then maybe that's the most important thing. And judging by what you found and that my name was on that list, and there was a bone circlet coming for me, I wholeheartedly trust all of you. Now I've said my piece. He sits back down behind his desk and he continues to go over some paperwork.
I did leave a lot of things in ruin in my old life, and I'm still paying for one major mistake with a lot of more mistakes. I'm trying to make amends. I'm trying, for whatever reason, I was able to make it out, and I am who I am because of it, but I am who I'm trying to be because of it as well. So you as a group need to know that, and I'm giving you this opportunity to accept that.
How high up were you when you were in the order?
High enough.
Why should we trust anything you say? Why should we trust you going forward? How do we know you're going to have our backs?
Can you say them again, real quick?
Why should we trust anything you're saying? And how do we know that you're going to have our backs going forward?
I'm taking notes so I can answer in the right order. Sorry. And why do you have backs?
In separation, what he said
Yeah,
and
I
what
have.
he told us so far. The one thing I can confirm is throughout my years of traveling, I probably being one of the eldest being in the group. I have Alf. I've traveled throughout across the lands, up and downs, across the seas, and I would say if there anything about himself that he said, just regardless what he said, what Seldar and Dara King said about the Order of Assassins is true. Throughout my years, I have seen what could happen to a mark when the Order of Assassins come after. More than just an individual, I have seen a caravan completely slaughtered and murders left without a trace, but was only the rumors left behind that they have been cleaned up by the Order of Assassins. I have not yet personally encountered them, but the rumors of such organizations' existence have definitely been there far longer than any one of you's life. And I can contest that because out of all that, roughly about, I've known about this organization for more than 5 decades now. And if what I've heard is true, then what Seldar and Dara King's warning us right now, we will have to look behind our back at all times. That's just about the organization itself. I don't know if what Dara King's telling us is true about himself in the past, but at least half of the picture that he's painting, I can get behind that because I have heard and seen some stories and what happened when the Order of Assassins are in play. Then, from me personally, I would say being traveling so long, I have one policy. Is not trying to get myself involved with some of the most troublesome person, group, people, whatever. It has been a long time since the last time I actually actively involved into an affairs related to towns, people, and etc. For some reason, traveling with you guys kind of tempted me to do things I normally, when I travel by myself, wouldn't do. I don't know if it's out of the courage or out of because at the heat of the moment, I was being with you guys and I'm comfortable with the group or something like that. But from this point on, I will have to say, if there's anything as serious as the Order of Assassins ever come up, we need to share that intel with everybody. Because dealing with just one group like Order of Assassin is dangerous enough. If moving downward, we have to deal more than was one group, things needs to be discussed and communicated and how to plan ahead. Otherwise, somebody has gonna fall at some point in time in the near future.
So to answer Wurs' questions, trust is a two-way street, and at some point, you're just I can tell you the truth, or I can lie to you again, and honestly, lying to you is easier. But I'm trying to tell you the truth, and you have to either believe me or not, and that's what it is. But in this case, I had the original circlet with Sildar's name still intact because the um, whole mark was still intact with the original assassin, and I brought it to Sildar with the circlet that we found with Right Off. They have since been destroyed um, because they're only proof and dangerous to keep. They are poison. But Sildar has seen them, and part of the reason why we're meeting here in this space with Sildar is so he can vouch for this. Because prior to this, he's the only one that was told, mostly to keep him alive. And, actually, to keep the rest of you off my trail. Then I looked at Sildar.
Is that so, Sildar? Is that you vouch for the parts that you're involved in?
As much as I dislike some of you, and as much as I dislike the circumstances we've all been in, those are truths. And it's a muddy world. I was a soldier, and I fought under a flag. Sometimes there are people who fight under their own banners. And even though we don't see those banners, we must assume that there is honor and integrity behind them. Darby King approached me and he told me, he gave me a heads up, and he suggested I do the smart thing and leave this place. There's certainly truth to that. And you all seem to have an affinity for trouble. And you all could have left and backed out. And I'm going to say that I assume that you all are crazy and have an affinity for murder and mayhem. And I'm not going to pass judgment on that, but I will say that you guys look for trouble. You guys could have left, could have not gone after the Red Brands, but you looked for trouble and you trusted that the people next to you were going to help you in that. And it's gotten you this far. And the 6 of you, or the 4 of you, or the 3 of you, or the 5 of you, or however your group is broken down into over the course of the last 2 months, you guys have managed to do what this town has not been able to do. So, do I suggest you trust each other? I think if you look deep enough and you know you already do trust each other. Now, back to Wave Echo. There is a looming cloud over this town. You all indicate to me that you're going to go into that storm. I suggest you put the past behind you, clear your heads, and take on this battle, knowing that you all are going to back one another. Or disband so that we can prepare for a battle that we're ill equipped for.
Well, as you said earlier, we have a appetite for violence. Violence is fun. Go kill some shit. I'm bored of the talkie. Kill, kill. Stab.
and as the authority figure of this town, that is very disturbing, but fucking go get it.
Somehow I find it's a miracle that we haven't destroyed this town.
And with that,
the
you guys,
capability and the appetite for mayhem, I've somehow find it's a miracle that we have not raised this entire town in the ground.
I mean, Wurs tried to send the dragon here.
Yeah.
I'm the terrible person, but
I'm-
Wurs is the one that wanted to send the dragon here.
That would have been funny as shit.
all right.
All right.
Let's go get some potions.
I suggest you guys gear up for.
Oh
this
man,
part.
God, if we need to stack up, we need to stack up.
All right. So, in the meantime, we're gonna take a break. We got about an
Break.
hour's left.
Crap. We get the thing ready.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, anyways, in the meantime, we're gonna take a break.
Yeah.
You guys, everybody, go use what are we gonna do, and then go ahead and message me about what it is you guys want, and the money you're gonna spend, and then we can get the potions and at least move forward.
Without wasting the. Okay. All right. Wait, how much is a health potion?
50.
Okay. Then
15 or
50
50?
gold pieces.
5-0.
Okay. I want to get at least 2 for myself. I keep giving. I've so far given 2 to Terry.
Terry got fucked up last night.
oh man, I was so crazy. Like trying to get away to still got hit. It's like, man, I was
Yeah, so just write it like Terry did, so we know.
I was crawling away, man. I was literally on my hands and on my knees when I got away from that.
How many do I have? I have. I guess I'll.
150. So I'm down to 312. 312 go piece.
I'm gonna go use the restroom. I'll be right back.
But I have healing potion. So are we on a break?
Yeah, we are. I'm just setting up the timer.
So that is the backstory that you wrote to Viva, huh?
Some of it, only a fraction of it.
Yeah.
Watch the goddamn stream.
We only did a 5-hour stream to do a backstory, which only about an hour of it was backstory, but 4 hours of it was like long encounters with 3 people, but it was good. Dave was still learning how to make encounters, which was It was good though.
But I like the idea. I kind of like the character that you set yourself up with. Like you're trying to not even try to redeem yourself. You're trying to get by in the world, and then because you know what you've done that's pretty fucked up, and kind of like by the way you talk, I kind of understand that you understand.
I don't
Even
always like my character. I'm just saying it's who it is. I'm kind of committed to it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If you guys all
Yeah.
send, if you guys want to do characters too,
I think I
Yeah.
think I have something in mind now. I'll try to elaborate it a little bit.
Where's his cat
be
is
awesome.
definitely right there.
that is funny. His cat is right there.
I can't. I want to go use the bathroom, but I want to see what this cat does to his environment, his computer. Oh, I guess it's doing nothing to his computer.
Walk across my keyboard again.
No, but we see
Yeah.
like its head just like in frame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have 8:30 left on our countdown, so we're still good.
Okay, you said you want gold pendant with an emerald in it.
Yeah. It was
And
one
you
of
want to go? You want to go have that checked by somebody?
Yeah, it would either be
I was gonna pet you.
Where did you get the gold pendant from?
northwest part of the map. It was like one of the last rooms we checked. At that point, I hadn't realized words had actually left the game. So
Northwest. So rooms maybe 6. Or
I had to
something
like do. I rolled a high investigation, and I found a box with it in it. I think the studded armor and short sword are just studded armor and short sword, but I took them anyways in case there were anything special about them. And then those were in the like far northwest corner. This one was like northwest. There was like a room with like a pedestal in the middle, and I literally walked around it and we found it. It was in this room.
Well, I'm not actually on that.
I'm sorry.
It's in.
I checked this room, and this is where I got.
Okay, it's in room number 9.
Yeah, and then this room is where I got the.
Okay, you've a chalice, knife,
Nope.
sensor, human-made art objects. Worth 150, 60 gold. No, you didn't find any of that.
Nope. I found a gold pendant with an emerald in it.
There was a gold statue of a sun elf worth 100 gold.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
A stone brazier contains a mound of coal buried under, with a gold statue of a sun elf worth
No,
100 gold.
we found that
pieces.
too, but it wasn't it. It was in one of these rooms. I was investigating, like as we were leaving, because we hadn't checked these rooms, and I found the gold pendant, or sorry, gold necklace with a emerald pendant in it. That's what I wrote down in my notes. I tried to do a magical detect. I tried to inspect it with Arcana, but I failed in this Arcana check of 17.
Dude, I don't feel like that's from the longest time ago.
It was literally last week. I have it dated.
Yeah, I actually do remember that. Hearing that.
Right afterwards, I realized words left the group, and I put that down. All right, I'm running to the bathroom. It was in one of these northwest rooms. I don't know which one, but I was inspecting these with Brockle. All right, what happened to? Oh, the timer's still there. Okay.
Developments. Guys, characters. Treasure. XP. Hobgoblin barracks. Mounted to the walls of 5 spears, 4 long swords, 4 staff with engraved, stylized, surprisingly light, 1 pound.
Viva, is
Huh.
there any place in the town I can apply special effect to my rapier?
No. No.
Okay. Because if I read it correctly, I know there's potential elemental damage that you can apply to weapon. So I don't know if there's a way that you can ask a smithy to do it, or you have to basically find a one in the wild.
Um, there is a way to have it done, but this town is not equipped to do it. This is like a very small, on the outskirts kind of town.
I know. Yeah.
Remains of the tower, second floor, jagged ledge,
All right, I'll
chest.
be right back.
The chest unlock contains a 90 EP, 120 healing, scroll silence, scroll revive fee. Dude, I don't see this. Hidden under Grohl's bed mattress, containing 220 SP, 3 healing, and the map. I don't know where he got this fucking thing from. What we're doing.
I do remember the failed Arcana checks.
Yeah. There was supposed to be an Arcana check at room 8, which no, it would have been a detect magic spell. I don't see anything about a fucking spear or anything. Or pendant. So, did you buy that cat down there with your in LA with your folks?
No, I got him up here. My mom came up to visit on the 15th for her birthday, and
Gotcha.
I adopted him while she was up here. We just went to the SPCA
Uh,
Society, and we were there for like the entire afternoon. Um, Mostly waiting around for our turn to come up. But I am planning on taking him with me when I go down to my parents for Christmas later this month. So that's going to be exciting.
the long road trip.
Yeah, it's a long road trip. And my parents have 3 dogs. So it's going to, you know, first he has to get used to the new place. And then we have to very cautiously introduce the dogs. 2, I
Right.
don't think it's going to be a problem, but the boy, JJ, he is kind of he's a little bit rough. Um and well, it's going to be interesting.
Did we ever figure out what I had?
I don't. I've looked over and over through Cragmaw Castle for that treasure, and I don't know where you got it from. So just spend regular gold for now, and then
All right, we'll figure it out later then. If we figure out what it was later, I would have had it magically checked before we left. From I guess Rothen's provisions.
magically checked.
I mean, I can probably do that.
Like you can take it there and they'll just like assess it.
I think you're thinking of Gilmore's Glorious Goods.
He does that too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, we got 5 seconds. Let's go.
All right, we're going back. Yeah, want to take off Craigmaw?
As much as some faults, for example, he won't eat unless I'm right there, standing right next to him. But he gets in his carrier just fine. He just walked right into it, chilling.
So as we return back to our group that's inside of the town master's hall, Gundren. All right. So what we have in front of us is quite the journey. I mean, we actually don't need to go far. Quite surprising that it's been hidden for this long, but this is not going to be an easy journey, and I'm glad you guys all stocked up. We're going to head 15 miles east of Phandalin. And we're going to go into the deep vales of the Sword Mountains. It was a rich mine, the Phandalur's Pact, that was lost 500 years ago during the Orc invasion that devastated this part of the north. In the centuries since, countless prospectors and adventurers have searched for the lost mine, but none have succeeded. Until my brothers and I found the entrance to a month ago. Fortunately, we didn't realize that we're being trailed by spies working for Black Spider. Now, we led them to their prize, We took them where they wanted to go, unbeknownst to ourselves. That's when they kidnapped us and ambushed you. All right. I'm going to head out. It actually ends up being less than one whole day's journey.
So we're gonna have an encounter.
I'm working on it.
17 or higher.
It is not going to be an encounter.
Yeah.
So as you guys approach,
Oh shit! We're going into the cave now. Wow.
I hope you guys all added the things that you needed to add.
Yeah. Already did.
You guys pass through the woods and into the rocky. I'm going to need you to drag your players to here.
I gotta zoom out to see where here is.
Yeah.
Can you not zoom out?
I zoomed out all the way, and I just have a black
I
screen.
see it.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's all black screen.
All right, bottom left.
It's bottom left-hand corner.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh my god, is it really that big?
Where did my character go?
Do you not see now?
Hold on. I gotta zoom in. I dropped my character somewhere, but he just disappeared into the vastness of space.
Yeah. Same here.
All right, give me a second. So as you guys approach the entrance to this place, you guys immediately start to see that this is okay. Where is this moving himself?
I don't see anything. It's just black. I do see
Mhm.
myself though.
I don't see myself. You can see on stream.
I can't even see my icon.
That change anything?
Yep. Now I can see.
Blackness.
Blackness.
I can see DW. You guys may need to update your tokens.
What when you say update our tokens, you want us to
Let
refresh
me
the page or what?
reload the. Let me reload the
Token
map.
editor. Add in Advanced Fog of War and Light Emitter.
I already have all that set.
That seems way too far. Where's are you only seeing where you should be able to see?
I can see up to here. So I can see like this area. I can see this. I can see there's a room right here.
Yeah, I think you can see too far. Anyways, so you guys enter the Wave Echo Cave. As you clear through the forest, you guys start to wander into the cliffside behind some.
I'm gonna move
much
another
larger
character. I'm
buildings.
gonna try again. I'm gonna try putting myself on here.
My map is still pitch black.
All right, just try to be.
I put myself in the bottom left, and I don't know where. I still can't see anything.
Yep.
Okay, I see two DWs and I see Valen all the way down. Okay, Valen's right next to me now. And one of DW's icons is right next to me.
No, I got nothing.
Uh,
I mean, put Advanced Fog of War to 60.
can
Take a look at the screenshot I just uploaded. That's what my settings are, and I'm able to see stuff.
how about now?
No.
Now I don't see anything. Everything's black.
What?
Still remain pitch black to me. And I've already reloaded the screen the second time.
So if we have Advanced Fog of War, should it be 120 or should it be 60, Viva?
60.
60?
Alright, well I just updated all tokens. I still can't see anything.
Okay, I can see a channel where I can see a great area where like we're in a valley or something.
I got nothing.
I reload my screen now the third time, and I see it.
Viva, do you want me to refresh?
Yeah, try to refresh it. Should be able to
Well,
see
I
it.
don't want to refresh. Viva's trying something, but I just want to check.
Sorry. It's not. Nothing's changed for anybody.
I'm refreshing now.
Lag.
I got some.
No, nothing's
going.
changed.
Anyway,
Can't see anything. Not
I
anymore.
feel like. What is that? I feel like what was happening the other night is happening today.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Um.
I mean, it dumped my light emitter settings, which technically I shouldn't be needing right now, but
Is that any better for anybody?
no.
No,
No, that's
the
worse.
area just gone to the black again.
Yeah, Fog of War is back.
Flag of
The
War
chat-
should be available, but
The valley I was able to see that pathway now completely disappear again.
man, I would love to know what you guys are seeing. Everyone close their eyes. Let's see it in our mind's eye. No.
Nothing. Huh? Why does this keep happening? Okay, so anyways, as you guys enter the cave, it's like a very long hallway, carved. So many years ago that you guys can't even hardly fathom. Some of the older creatures can. You understand what has gone on here, and that you know that you're in the right place. Wow, I'm not even on the right map. Okay, what we're gonna do is,
You want to break here because we are missing part of the group and we're not having visual?
yeah, let's call it here for tonight. You guys are made it into Wave Echo Cave. You guys are at the entrance, looking down a corridor. We'll call it here, with the understanding that, and then I'll figure this out.
Okay.
What up, Nick? What up? We're just finishing this up. Well, yeah.
Just made it in time.
Hey, you get your controller working, Nick?
So we're off air?
No, we're still live until Viva says he wants to break.
Yeah, no, I say we call it.
All right, thanks everybody who's in stream. Sorry,
Yep.
Nick, that you just showed up, but we're gonna go ahead and end here.
Peace.
Yeah, Iron Man, Nick, the Bogota, everybody that showed up, I appreciate
How
it.
about that session? That was fun.